Hey, good morning. John again. I'm going to go play some Immaculate Grid. Congratulations to Texas Rangers on on winning their first World Series. It now makes the Brewers and the Padres, who I guess both have caps right there. It makes them the oldest teams to have never won one. So um pressure's on, I guess. But first Immaculate Grid of the offseason. Let's see if the popularity of this game can keep riding through the offseason. I will go ahead and announce that I'm gonna make an attempt. We'll see, but I'm gonna make an attempt to churn out just a post season not postseason, but post the season being done revision in my book just to update some of the numbers, since most of them are as of the end of last season. If you're talking about, hey, over the last X many years, or these are all the people who've struck out this many times, there's a whole bunch more people who've struck out over 200 times, for example. I know that's a stat I cite. So um I'll probably won't be adding a ton of content, but I will keep playing Immaculate Grid. So we'll see if I have time for both things. Meantime, I am going to start sharing my screen and playing Immaculate Grid as I do. Let's see. I guess this was yesterday's, and I had a 20, which is pretty good, with a lot of it coming from just little, fours and twos and stuff. Nothing too crazy yesterday. Pound and refresh. 300 saves. This has gotten me before, so I've got to be careful with that. We've got Giants, we got Marlins, and alongside here we've got Tigers, Rangers, Padres, and that's who we're gonna have to find 300 save seasons to mesh up with. Um, all right. Yeah, let's get into it. Tigers and Giants is kind of an interesting one. I know I've seen it before. I've tried Darrell Evans, um, and that was several percent, like 10-ish percent, I think. Um, Edgar Renteria is someone else you can go with. I think that's going to be like 2 to 4% or so. Um, and then I'm trying to think if I've just by happenstance come across someone who works a lot better. Um, let's see, San Francisco and Texas. Well, let's see. So Texas 300 saves. Let's try to get 300 saves. Gossage works for both of these. Rich Gossage. Obviously Hoffman works here. He'll be the most popular choice for San Diego. Raleigh Fingers also works for San Diego. Um, John Wetland will also work for Texas. Francisco Rodriguez will work for Detroit. Um, Fernando Rodney, I think, works for Detroit. I don't think he works for these teams, but man, Fernando Rodney bounced around a lot. It wouldn't shock me if he just like had a stint with San Diego that I didn't know about. Um, who else? Dave Getty played for he didn't get 300 saves, so forget him. Doug Jones, I don't think works for any of these teams. Bruce Sutter doesn't work for any of these teams. Houston Street, I don't believe works for any of these teams. Kenley Jansen, Billy Wagner, John Franco. Yeah, getting a whole lot of nothing from those people. So let's see. Optimal strategy. Do I dare go Gossage here, Fingers here, Francisco Rodriguez up here? Um, Todd Jones. Todd Jones, I think, does get to 300 saves. I'm not positive though. Rob Nen would work over here, but that's not what we're playing. Roberto Hernandez does not hit any of these teams, I don't think. 300 saves is such a weird one. All right, this might be a grid buster. I'm gonna go with Francisco Rodriguez for Detroit. Oh, that was bad. That's a bad start. All right, let's get Gossage for Texas. He gets 4, and then Raleigh Fingers. San Diego. He gets 5. Maybe Todd Jones would have been better there. Um, who knows? Who knows? Let's see here for Texas. Congratulations to the Rangers once again. Texas and Miami. I've played Charlie Huff before. I've played Jerry Brown before. I think Jerry Brown is better for this one. Actually, it might have been Cleveland. Seems to me like, yeah, Jerry Brown is a good player to play with Cleveland and Miami as well as Texas and Miami. So I'm gonna dial him in there. Goes 0.2, pretty good. See, Gossage would have been a nice pick for San Francisco and Texas. He did manage to hit both teams. Renneria will work for both of these. Huff works over here. Benji Molino works over here. Daryl Hamilton. He's a good go-to. Let's go Daryl Hamilton. Goes 0.5, pretty good. Gary Sheffield works here and here. Mike Cameron will work here. Let's go Mike Cameron here. Let's see how he does. He only played a little bit for the Marlins, so maybe that's a sneaky one. Takes 1%. All right. San Francisco, San Diego, Willie McCovey. It wouldn't surprise me if he was the most popular pick there. Bruce Bochy managed in both places, so I guess all the teams that Bruce Bochy has managed are represented on this grid, as well as 2 of the teams that Jim Leyland managed, but he managed a bunch more. San Francisco, like that's another one where Gossage would have been a nice sneaky little pick there. Kevin Mitchell will also work. He's a frequent, makes frequent appearances. Steve Finley, as we've talked about on this show, he hits all the NL West teams, so he would work there. I think Orlando Hudson hits everything. Well, no, he does not hit San Francisco, and I don't think he also hits Colorado. So he hits a bunch of teams, but not San Francisco. Benito Santiago will work. I think Benito Santiago is a weirdly popular player, though. Um, I'm gonna try Aubrey Huff up here. Takes 8%. I mean, he was such a key player on that 2010 Giants team. So then for this one, I think Fernando Rodney will work. That's maybe who I should have gone with here. But now I'm second guessing myself. I'm not 100% sure of him on either team, but I think he played for both teams. Miguel Cabrera is going to be the most popular. Dontrelle Willis will also work. He was involved in the same trade. Renneria definitely works. Curtis Granderson works. Let's try Renneria. Takes 1%. That's actually a lot lower than I would have. Like I would have expected this to be a bit lower and this to be a bit higher. Because I mean, he had the winning hit in the 97 World Series, so he's clearly very famous with the Marlins. And I mean, he was with Detroit for a couple years there. It was like 08, 09, something like that. And then he was with the Giants for their World Series victory. So let's see here. This is going to be not a great grid overall. What do we got here? 10, 39, 47. Man, I'm gonna. This one here. This last Giants and Padres. This is to go sub 50. So that's the goal here is to go sub 50. And let's see. So I've mentioned Kevin Mitchell, Benito Santiago, Willie McCovey. Um, and I'm just trying to, and Steve Finley. Um, I'll go Mitchell. Play with the Padres right before winning the MVP with the Giants. Takes 5%. So I was not going to go sub 50. So there were 7 choices. Fernando Rodney did play for the Tigers and was the number 1 guy. Aroldis Chapman was played in last night's game. I guess I hadn't registered that he got to 300 saves, but he's been a closer for like the last 12 years, or was a closer before a year or two ago. So each of these had 7 choices. So it'll just bring up all the saves and we'll just go through them really quickly if this can load. And I'm not gonna be able to see everything, but let's see. So for Detroit, we have Troy Percival and Fernando Rodney. Jose Mesa played for Detroit. I did not have Jose Mesa as having 300 saves. I did not internally have that. Rick Aguilera? No, Todd Jones. Okay, Todd Jones I knew. I thought Todd Jones would have been even more popular than the 30%. So I hit everyone. Francisco Cordero played for Detroit. Joe Nathan played for Detroit. I knew Joe Nathan. I didn't know Francisco Cordero. And then yeah, for Texas, got Wetlands, Tom Henke. That's right. Does Isringhausen? No, he works for the Rays though. Save that one for a rainy day. Rob Nen works for Texas, so he would have worked for San Francisco, Texas, along with Gossage. Joe Nathan works, and he also hits the Giants. That looks like Gossage. Where are their Padres? Who's this guy? 3 and 4 on the list here. Fernando Rodney, and that's right. Craig Kimbrell did play a year in San Diego. All right. Yeah, not my best friend. There was stuff. Oh, you know what? Randy Myers. I've used him before for San Diego, and I should have remembered to use him here. Because Randy Myers played like the last month of his career with San Diego, and I knew that. So, all right. Well, once again, episode brought to you by Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities. Like I said, I might try to get a rev out. I already found a typo as I was just I was showing it to my mother-in-law last time. I was like, oh wait a minute, I spelled this wrong. But in any event, I'll try to make it better. I'll try to make these videos better, but not too much better. You're not getting any editing out of this. Anyway, have a great rest of your day and great off season. Fun times to track Hot Stove, see where Juan Soto goes, see where Shohei Ohtani goes. Oh, and big news is that Jimmy Hoffa is apparently buried under the former site of County Stadium, now the site of Little League Park, Hellfair Field, which is right in front of American Family Field in Milwaukee. So that's a fun little bit of baseball news for your Hot Stove season. Jimmy Hoffa's buried in Milwaukee. Anyway, have a great rest of your day. Peace.